The Venerable Master has been constantly advocating that we must carry on the studies and practices of classical Chinese characters and traditional Chinese culture. We must inherit the centuries of wisdom and tradition passed down by our ancestors.
老法师多年来经常呼吁，我们的汉字、汉文化千万不能让它断了。几千年的传统必须传承下去。因为这是全人类的宝藏。
We are very delighted to tell you that the Venerable Master's wish came true last July, when the UK Academy of Sinology was established, a pleasing moment for all of us.
我们非常的庆幸，老法师的心愿终于在去年7月实现了。英国汉学院终于成立了，是殊胜可喜的大事。
The Academy of Sinology utilizes the imperial education system of ancient China, built on the foundation of the sages.
英国汉学院是以中国古代太学的模式进行教学，以中国古代圣学经典为基础，来培养未来可以续编四库全书人才的学院。有关英国汉学院成立的始末、宗旨以及目标，将在这2天的盛会中为大家报告与说明。
Now we are kindly invited to listen to a speech given by Professor Medwin Hughes, Vice-Chancellor of the University of Wales, Trinity St. David.
现在我们有请英国威尔士三一圣大卫大学校长麦迪文休斯教授来为今天的法会致辞。
Mr. President, civic dignitaries, ladies and gentlemen, croeso cynnes iawn I chi yma i'r brifysgol yma I Llanbed. Mae'n hyfryd gweld gymaint wedi dod ynghyd. I've just shared with you in my native language. I've just welcomed you here to the University of Wales, Lampeter, University of Wales, Trinity St. David. It is a great honour for me as Vice-Chancellor on behalf of the academic community to welcome the Venerable Master and also all of you here. Several of us have just returned from London, where we had the opportunity over the last 3 days to celebrate our roots, to mark the connectivity between the East and the West, and to celebrate the importance of ancestor ceremony in London. Over 2,000 people came together and took part in a very important intercultural event. A public ceremony that marked the importance of bringing culture together. We live in a troubled world, a world that is marked more by divisions than harmony. A world that is troubled and seeking answers, a world that focuses upon political aspirations and political differences of culture, of ethnicity, of religion, and a world perhaps that needs to focus more today, more than ever, on the connectivity of cultures and of identifying what brings us together. Here at Lampeter, at St. David's College, University of Wales, over 180 years of tradition has focused in this very special college on bringing the world to Wales and to Lampeter. When this university college was established, the founding fathers of this college had at the heart of their commitment a yearning for bringing better understanding between traditions and world faith. Lampeter has always been an international centre for theology, for world religions. And it is so pleasing for me as a Vice-Chancellor in a period of major changes in education, that we are now and have been working diligently, working to celebrate the traditions of St. David's College, and that we are putting at the core of this institution the deep respect for theology and world religions. Nations need to be clear who they are, what they represent, and what they believe in. A nation that does not have the confidence to say, this is who I am, these are the values that we believe, are nations that will not survive. The imperative these days of focusing upon the truth, of standing back and having the confidence to say, this is my tradition, this is what I believe in. But I also can acknowledge in your tradition that there are very important facets that we must come and understand. Surely, of what we've seen in this country over the last couple of weeks, there has never been more important time than to focus upon interfaith, intercultural harmony. Today and tomorrow, we celebrate roots. We celebrate traditions. But before I focus, if I may, for a couple of minutes on that particular theme, and those of you who will be here tomorrow will hear a lecture, an hour lecture, on this issue. I want to give tribute to the Venerable Master Chin Kung and to formally welcome him here to Wales. Here you have a world leader, an individual who has given his life to promoting intercultural, interfaith harmony. I had the privilege to meet the Venerable Master 2 years ago, and we started to discuss a range of issues, focusing upon our interests, our conviction in faith, and also in the need to develop across the world a deeper understanding of compassion, a deeper knowledge within our education system of intercultural values, and the realization that if we are to try to identify answers for a troubled world, that we must start with education. I was very humbled when I and the chairman of my university went to Hong Kong, where we were given the opportunity to partake in a ceremony, an ancestor ceremony, where over 9,000 individuals came together of different traditions, of different religions, to pay tribute to ancestors and to the importance of history and the connectivity of culture that relates to society and to religion. And when I was sitting there, I could only think, isn't this what we should be doing in the context of our universities? Of building greater intercultural understanding, of promoting far more connectivity between traditions. The holiness of the one focuses on respecting the traditions of many. And that is why we here in university, and in Wales, if I may say, were so pleased when the Venerable Master decided that he was minded to adopt Wales as one of his spiritual homes and to locate here in Lampeter, to develop an international centre that on the one hand supports and celebrates the traditions of China, and also a deep, deep commitment to support interfaith and intercultural harmony. Here you have a leader who has given everything of himself to the world and has asked for nothing back. And today, in this college, in this university, we are going back to our roots. We have had several discussions in this university. Who are we? What should we be doing in a world where our governments are asking questions about the role of education? We in this university and in this college have been very clear that at the heart of our Christian commitment as an Anglican university college is an openness to consider all faith traditions, but to look then to the connectivity of faith within a troubled world. I'm also indebted to our royal patron, His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales, who has shown such interest and such commitment to furthering our links with the Venerable Master. I'm minded that the next 2 days will be a celebration of who we are and of our traditions. And without roots, there can be no sense of meaning. Roots and that collective search from history in order to understand where we are now is central to any new discourse analysis between culture, religion, and society. The world is calling out for cultural connectivity. The world is screaming out for identifying a new typology, a new language that identifies common themes of connectivity between different faith traditions. To be able to stand back in the name of my God within my Christian tradition and acknowledge in the context of Buddhism, Hinduism, Islam, to identify the common themes of connectivity is at the heart of what we are about today. And as we do celebrate tomorrow our ancestors, we celebrate the ancestors of our faith traditions. Let me, if I may, just give one quote from His Royal Highness the Prince of Wales. In the world in which we live, with fears about the other, there is an urgent need for calm reflection and for a genuinely sustained, empathetic approach to open dialogue, which marks the boundaries of faith, ethnicity, and culture. We need to rediscover that public space where we can have the confidence to say who we are and to stand up for that, but also to identify a discourse that allows us to look to commonality. The mutual cooperation between our faith traditions is at the heart of this university and at the heart of the education that we offer here. And I'm delighted to announce that through the generosity of the Venerable Master, that we will be moving to identify an international program, a Harmony doctoral program, that will invite over 25 scholars from across the world to focus upon interfaith studies and to build a collegium that will look to these issues of discourse. And that is only the beginning of developing a deep understanding based upon scholarship here in Wales, linking in with international foundations such as UNESCO to look for that common tradition, for that common discourse. How do we secure compassion and an openness to find common themes in faith traditions? It may be worth looking to the faith traditions and to ask the question, what does it mean to develop a religious, cultural, literary tradition? If we are to be open, we must find the ability to stand back in humility and celebrate the other. We must be prepared, not giving up our own traditions, but we must be prepared in the best tradition to open our own heart and to look for a common good. Cultural literacy, or religious literacy, is based upon the ability to discern and analyze the fundamental intersection of religion and social cultural life through multiple lenses. And today and tomorrow is an opportunity here for us in Wales to observe through one particular lens, the lens of the tradition of Buddhism, of what does it mean to show respect to tradition, to the past, and to ancestors. And for this particular ceremony, we could identify so many other ceremonies linked with other faith traditions. But I'm absolutely clear of one thing, that the university education that we must develop across the United Kingdom must be far more open to cultural and religious praxis if we are to make a difference within this broken world. We are here to strengthen cultural bonds. We're here to celebrate the strong links between China and Wales. And within our country, our government has shown a great commitment to develop those economic links. But let us remember, the economy of tradition is only based upon the conviction of individuals who have trust, mutual trust, between each other. And that is why we come back to education. The education that we must craft together is an education of one. An education that will embrace, that will share, that will find common language, that will find a common conceptual framework of building a citizenship, a humanity that is not based upon one tradition, but upon several. One humanity, many faiths. We live in a global world where leaders, be those political or cultural or religious, turn to the World Web for opportunities of communication. Some use it well, others use it with negative forces. We, as an education, as institutions of education, as institutions of the mind, must make an effort to identify every opportunity to create a new religious political discourse that breaks down cultural, religious boundaries. That is the responsibility that we have. This is a task that several will be involved for generations. There are no quick fixes in this narrative typology. There are no easy answers. But what at the heart of any engagement is a sense of truth, of honesty, and conviction. We welcome you here to Wales. We welcome you here to Lampeter. And today, we together have a chance to understand and to partake in your cultural traditions. The traditions of the East and the West come together. And in doing that, we will try in our very own way to find a common belief of what is right. To my mind, I have no hesitation that this university today is going back to its roots of celebrating who we are, our deep conviction as an Anglican institution, but having the ability to open out and to see the value of world religions. And as I've shared several times with the Venerable Master, Lampeter St David's College, of all universities in Wales, has done more in the context of interfaith dialogue. And that is why it is so important that we build upon this tradition, that we develop a collegium that will focus upon research in interfaith, intercultural harmony. May I finish with one or two other statements from His Royal Highness, our Royal Patron. In a speech he offered at Oxford University last year, he made the following statement. As people of faith, we know too that the human spirit is called to the horizon of eternity. We sense that we are too frequently focused on the external world, which so often discounts what can't be measured and weighed. But if we are to seek a common humanity, we must look to the inner reality, which starts with the heart and with the soul. And you know that is at the heart of what we are doing today. It is crucial that the vision of the eye is focused through the lens of the heart. And that lens puts honesty, puts integrity and compassion at the heart of what we do. That is how we work together to celebrate, to build bridges, and to try to construct a narrative that will deliver, in the fullness of time, one humanity based upon many faiths. Croeso cynnes I chi. A very warm welcome to Lampeter. Diolch yn fawr.
Let us show appreciation for the inspiring speech by Professor Medwin Hughes.
非常感谢麦迪文休斯校长的致辞。
Oh.